fire up the Sportster and it's that old familiar Harley sound and feel, which is both the blessing and the curse of the bike. Has a lot of character, sounds great, but it also is the most vibey. You get up to speed and the mirrors blur and it just rattles and rolls, and it delivers this authentic experience, but it's not going to be something that everyone likes.
You got immediately accessible torque. Of course, all that torque comes on in between 3,000 to 4,000 RPM after checking out the dyno charts. It's usable power, but it also signs off a little earlier. These other two bikes have wider power band. I find myself short shifting this bike a little bit to keep it in the meat of the power.
The Harley transmission, it's a little more deliberate. Some would say clunky. The engagement's at the end of the clutch, so it makes for a more deliberate launch, but a real forgiving clutch for beginner riders.
As far as handling goes on the Sportster, it's got a really compact wheelbase which allows for easy U-turns and benefits its low-speed handling. You can cut it in pretty tight and it feels a little easier to manage at low speeds than the Bolt. But when you get it up to speed, it's got a really softly sprung front fork. And if there's any type of lip in the road, it doesn't take much to blow through the travel of the front fork, which also sacrifices a little bit of stability at speed as well.
When you're riding it, you have plenty of room with your legs laterally, but the peg feelers touch down early and often. When you're doing the braking tests on these bikes, the front lever feels a little bit wooden compared to these other bikes, and compared to the Triumph especially, it just doesn't have as much bite or feel on that front brake lever.
Should come as no surprise. Great looking bike, hard to beat Harley's paint, probably has the best looking wheels of the bunch. Really compact, everything's nice and tight and where it should be. Got plenty of Harley character, of course, great sounding pipes. Of course, that's part of the Harley character, but you're going to get lots of vibes, more so than either of the other two bikes. Especially higher RPMs, when you rev it out, there's a lot of vibrations in the peg, especially the right foot peg.
Fit and finish on the Harley is top notch. The tank is probably the best example. It's that Sportster tank. Feels really solid, even though the bike's rattling around, doesn't feel like it's going to fall apart. That extends to the Sportster's instrumentation, which switchgear. It all feels really top notch. The Sportster feels like a really high quality bike, but it's also competitively priced. It's actually $300 less than the R-Spec Bolt that we tested, and I believe it's just a couple $100 more than the Bonneville. So Harley's made a real conscious effort to keep its MSRP competitive for the entry-level bikes like the Sportster, also the transitional bikes like the Street Bob, and the iron is especially attractive to younger buyers.